So when I was walking by the Wells Fargo today, they like the sound of the drawer opening, like in the window where you drive up to the bank. That is that drawer that opens up, that they put the money through, and it makes this sound when it opens. It's like this kind of loud sound, kind of, you know. And it did that right when I walked around the corner, and she started talking synced right at that moment through the window. And she's always talking synced through the window, through the speaker in the window, which is loud. Like it's like loud volume. So like I can hear it like all the way up the street pretty much, like all the way up the block. But like she'll always do it synced through the window. And she did it right there with the drawer opening when I walked by. And then she did it again when I walked back the other way later on the video, on the last video I just did. Right as I walked by the ATM, she was talking synced at the window. And then I've heard these planes fly over today. Like I heard these two jets earlier. And then I heard this plane a minute ago, like a propeller plane. And they were like nearby. Like I don't know if they flew over me or what, but like I don't know if they were stalkers or not, but at least one of them probably was. And then, like I said, there was this forklift out here earlier, and he was beeping a bunch of times. Like he was loading something in a truck, and so he just kept backing up and doing it at synced up moments with the beeping sound out there. Like I wasn't looking out the window, but like he's just out there beeping synced a bunch of times for like an hour straight with his forklift. And then he was doing it again a minute ago. And then there's a bunch of whiteys out here, and there's a FedEx right now with the whiteys. And then there's these guys standing out here, and they're probably stalkers. And like a couple of them, there's like a bunch of guys standing out around right now, but I think a couple of those guys are the guys that were stalking me earlier. So they're probably stalkers standing over there. And they just made some type of noise. I think it's the guy standing over there. And then this blue semi is driving out. It's just stock target out here, bro. I don't know if I think the blue semi synced up with this white van, maybe. I don't know. Usually when I see the semi, it's stock tarded though. He's probably a stock tard. Cause everyone's a stock tard. It's just the thing to be. And then there's probably other things that I was gonna talk about that I forgot. There's always just a million things to talk about. There's just always things happening. Things are happening right now. There's this banging sound right as all these cars drove out synced. It's all these cars driving out all at once synced with a banging sound. And then one went in the parking lot, and all the other ones are on the streets. And then they're syncing up with more cars on the streets with those cars on the streets. And it's red and white and black cars. and then the red car meets other red cars, and then there's a banging sound at the same time. I don't know what these banging sounds are, but it was at the same time though. Maybe they're hitting this railing pole over here or something. These guys standing around. They're just standing around by this railing pole though, and I just heard this engine sound that was probably a sink head. And it's all... He's probably a sink tard. And these guys are laughing outside, and they might be doing it synced up. I don't know. Oh, they're all walking away right now. Was it synced up? I bet. And they walk up to this white truck, right? As these other white trucks sync up on the street, and then they're walking back around the other way around the white truck, and then right as the white truck gets to the intersection, he walks away from the white truck in the parking lot, and then the other guy is at the back of the white truck. It's gonna get sync tarded again in a second. The other guy's at the back of the white truck, and then he's like grabbing something as a blue car drives out. Was that synced? It was probably a sync tarded terrorist tactic. He's just grabbing something in the back of a truck as a blue car drives out behind him. Hey, I don't know. I don't know if it was a sync tarded tactic or not, but it could have been. That's just the fun of the sync game. Is like, what's all the syncs? I don't know. But then he just walked by the corner of his building and a black car drove out of it at the same time. And then he opens a white truck door right as a whitey and a tan car drive out. And that was synced. I know that. All of that was synced. And then there's this other white truck backing up and he's beeping and he's a synkhead. And then this other car honked and it was probably synced up with it. And then he stops beeping. It's not this truck beeping, it was something else beeping. But he stops backing up and then he synced up with a whitey and a white garbage truck that synced up with other whiteys. And then the other white truck, the guy that got in the other white truck is just sitting there. And then is he gonna take off, or is he just gonna get back out of the truck in like 10 minutes and then walk inside synced? What's gonna happen? Is he gonna take off or get out or not do anything and sit there for an hour and a half? Is he gonna drive over to another parking space and park over there synced? What's gonna happen? Is it gonna be sync tarded? Ah! These two whiteys just synced right as the heater on my wall clicked. And then these sync heads are walking back out to their sync vehicles. This guy's gonna get back in his white truck synced in a minute, but they're just walking around the parking lot right now and they're doing it synced with a whitey in the background. He opens the white truck door right as the whitey drives around the corner in the background. And then the other guy gets in his white truck synced up with the other guy closing his white truck, and then he's taking off with a 64 license plate. And then these birds are flying out in front of me at the same exact time. And then they fly over to the side of me right as he gets to the edge of the parking lot, and the other white truck takes off at the same exact time. And then it's driving by me right as the other white truck takes off, finally. The other guy that was just sitting there. And then he's driving by me. and he has a 33, I think. And nothing happened when he drove by me. Now there's just nothing out there now. But then here comes this silver car, and then it's gonna stalk, right? Yup, it syncs up with the whitey, the other side. Just drives all the way across, and then it syncs up with the whitey. I'm just sitting here like, yup, I know it's gonna stalk when it gets over there, isn't it? Yup, here we go. Yup, whitey. And then here goes two red cars, and then oh wait, that's not a. Oh yeah, there is a red car. And then they synced up with Whitey, and then there's other stalkers coming. They're not here yet. There's just nothing right now. It's, it's always just nothing out here when there's not stalkers out here. And then here comes a silver car, and then he's driving all the way across, and then a black car drives out at the same exact time. And then it syncs with another black car, and then it's gonna sync with Whitey. It didn't sync with anything. Here comes a loud red truck. Is it a sync head? Uh, he was right after the other car. I don't know if it was synced or not. It was supposed to be synced, but he was just a little late. I don't know. Probably. Here comes two other simultaneous cars though, and then it's syncing with another car, and then another car. They're all black and silver cars, and they're sync targeted again. And then here comes a white truck in the parking lot, synced up with the other black and silver car, syncing up with another black car, and then two other whiteys drove out. And he's driving through this place in the parking lot where they always stalk, synced up with Whitey behind him, and then he's got a 223 license plate. And right as he drives by me, this other stalker behind him is parking, is starting to park, and then he turns synced with the other cars on the street, and then he's gonna drive forward synced with other cars on the street, and then he's gonna park synced with other cars on the street, and then he's gonna get out synced with other cars on the street, right? He just turned like 3 times synced with cars on the street. It's with multiple cars driving out synced with it every turn. I think he just drove out of the parking lot. I don't know. He just disappeared. There's this other car that came in the parking lot synced with him. Oh, he's coming back around the street, and he's gonna park on the side of the street now. He just drove into the parking lot and then out, and now he's parking on the street. And there's a lot of parking spaces out here. I don't know why he did that. Because he's sync-tarded. But yeah, like every time a sync tard comes in the parking lot, they'll just turn, and then 5 cars will drive out when they turn, and then they'll all be sync tarded with each other. And then another car will come in the parking lot sync tarded with the other car. And then, and then like every time they turn, and like every move they make, like every time they turn and then stop and then back up again and then drive forward again and turn and park and get out of their car and close their door and start to walk and get to the corner. At all those places, there's other sync heads popping out doing sync-tarded shit. And then they're all syncing up with each other. And then another car comes in the parking lot. And they're like, da da! And then a guy parked a white truck, and then what's he gonna do? He's putting on a shirt that has a red stripe on it. Is it synced up with this white truck in the background? Is he putting on a red shirt synced up? And then he's meeting the other synkhead out of the silver truck that parked. And then there's a white SUV in the background at the same time they start to walk next to each other. Are they gonna hold hands? This guy's pointing right as these two whiteys drive out. They're just always pointing synced. He's just pointing at something across the parking lot. And then he's also got one hand in his pocket, and he's just walking all the way across the parking lot with one hand in his pocket. And then I don't know what they were syncing up with when they went in the door, but probably something. I didn't see a whitey drive out right there, but they're probably synced up with something though. And then this whitey just synced up with a car, and then this guy's getting in a white truck right as it gets to the other corner with the whitey. He just opened the door and then closed it, and now he's walking around the truck. He's gonna sync up again at the other side. He opens the other door right as another whitey drives out. And then it synced with another whitey, and then there's this blue truck driving by me really loud, and he's gonna sync with the red car. He syncs with the whitey. And then the whitey truck is closing his door again, synced with the whitey, going around the other corner. And then the truck drives off right as he goes around the corner. Back into the building. Out of his whitey truck. And there's a tan car meeting a whitey, and a silver car drove out at the same time, and then it's syncing up with a black car. And then there's a silver car coming. Or a white car, I mean. Was he a whitey? I don't know. He was just by himself. When's the next siren gonna be, or the train horn? Is there gonna be any more of those today? I don't know. Probably. I don't see anything. It's not sync-tarded right now. This car just synced up with a car driving out behind it, but in the background, barely visible. It's really sync-tarded. As sync-tarded as it could possibly be. They just out-tard themselves with all their sync-tardations. They're just completely sync-tarded. And they're doing more sync-tarded shit right now with red cars and white tard cars. And then the red car's coming back around the parking lot, and then it's syncing with the whitey at the corner of the building. And then he's turning in the parking lot. Something else synced up is gonna happen. And a black car that syncs up with a silver car. And then right as the red car parks, is that a blue car? I think it's a blue car. Is he a blue car? I think it was a blue car, and he synced up with all these whiteys, and then there's more whiteys with the whiteys. And they're gonna get out of the red car synced up, and then this truck is coming around. This big ass white stalker truck. And then there's red stalkers driving out behind him at the intersection when he turns in the parking lot. A lot of red stalkers. Oh, and then she's getting out of the red stalker car behind him as he starts to back up in the parking lot. And then she's walking across the parking lot. And then she's gonna get across, synced up. She's gonna get across, synced up with this truck, pulling up to the intersection, synced up with the truck in the parking lot, driving forward and stopping again. It stopped right at that moment and it synced up. And then it backed up again. And then it's gonna stop synced up. Oh! And just every move that they make in the parking lot is synced up with other synced up sync heads. Synced up with other sync heads. Isn't that sync tarded? But yeah, it was some type of big white truck driving up to the intersection, synced up. I don't know if it was like a street sweeper or something like that. Oh, he's getting back in the truck. Is it synced up? There's another car backing up at the same time in the parking lot. And it's a blue van, and then it drives forward right as the truck stops beeping, and then it's driving out of the parking lot, and he's getting out of the truck at the same time. And then right as it turns out on the street, the AC outside my apartment turns off, and then right as he gets to the edge of the parking lot, the blue van is behind him on the street, and then it's syncing up with the red van driving into the parking lot. And then it's gonna park synced up, and then it's gonna sync up, and it's gonna be synced. And then the guy walks around the corner of the building into the building right as the blue van drives back around. And then it meets a whitey in a black car at the intersection. And then another black car drives out right when it gets to the other side. And I think this silver car was synced up with it too at both sides. And then a whitey and then other stalkers synced up. And all the sides synced up. Oh, there's a red car driving by me. There was a whitey at the intersection at the same time. I think he was synced up. Oh, here comes the stalker. He's gonna walk by me, synced up. Out of the red van. Right as she walks through this place, the AC outside my apartment turns on, and then there's a whitey driving out, and it's going around the corner right as she walks by me, and there's another red car driving out at the same time. And she came out of her red van, remember? And then this silver truck, I don't know if he was a stalker. Was he a stalker? Honk a car horn if he was a stalker. Let me know. Did I get it right? Did I win $1 million yet? What kind of game show is this? And then the sinkhead is walking in the doorway in an apartment, and they're walking up behind me. They're going to their door as this whitey's driving out. And there's black cars with the whitey. Ah! And then there's a white van driving out. Is he gonna be a whitey? Right as he turns in the parking lot, someone walks out the door of the building. Ah! And then right as he turns to park, and right as the guy walks out, there's another black car driving out and synced with another black car and a whitey. Da-da! very stupidly. I see more whiteys. And then that guy, he got in a blue car, and then it's gonna take off, and then there's gonna be a red or a blue car or a white car, right? There's a white car right when he goes out of the parking lot. There's a white SUV right when he goes out of the parking lot, and then right when it drove around the corner, the AC outside my apartment turns on. And then right after that, a white truck drove out, and then it syncs up with another whitey. And then there's this guy that just got across the street at the same time, and he's walking across the parking lot. And then he's syncing up with whiteys in this white RV being at the intersection at the same time. And it was probably a synkhead. And then right when he walks in the building, the AC outside my apartment turns off. And then there's other synkheads on the street, I think. Is it other synkheads? I don't know. I saw a couple of cars. I don't know if they were synkheads. And I heard these banging noises. I don't know if that was a synkhead, but it was probably a synkhead. And then this white car syncs with the red car. And then it syncs with another white car with the red car. And then it's gonna sync with another car with the white car. It didn't do it. There's no more cars right now. It's completely empty. Every time I don't see stalkers, it's completely empty. And then I see more stalkers. And then occasionally I'll see a couple cars that I'm like, was it a stalker? I don't know. This tan truck is circling around the parking lot, and he does it right as Whitey drives out. And then the AC outside my apartment turns on, and then the tan truck is driving back out of the parking lot. It's just always a lot of cars that just drive into the parking lot and then back out, and right as they do, there's a bunch of white cars on the street at the same time magically. Just always happens like that. This white van just came up and parked next to me, and he's doing it sync-tardly again. As always, I don't know what sync-tards he synced up with, but it was sync-tarded. I know that. Because it always is with this white van in particular. He's whitey. He's an Agent Smith whitey head stock tard. A stock tard. I'll just hear him out here. He'll come up, he'll pull up, and it'll be like, and then he'll get out, and I'll hear his car door. I'll be like, and then I'll hear him as he walks in the building. He'll be like, here goes the blue car. He's syncing up with a black truck and a whitey. Oh, This is the most sync-tarded thing you could possibly do with your life is be a sync-tard, man. Like, really. Like, really, dude. Here goes a whitey. He's syncing up with a red sync-tard, and then I think I saw a tan sync-tard. Yeah, his tan synced hard, and then he synced up with the red synced hard again, the same one, and then there's the other whiteys. And they're synced harded. Da-da! They need mental help. They're synced hearted. Da-da! And then I saw a white truck, and then I heard a car honk right after. Was it synced? I don't know. I see chemtrails though. Da-da! They're making everyone synced hearted. Da-da! Ah! And then nothing is happening again. But the AC outside my apartment is turned on. It was probably synced with me starting to talk again. I see black and silver cars synced up. Da-da! uh, da-da! Here goes Whitey. Is it synced? I'm hearing this noise right as he gets to the intersection. Some type of metallic screeching noise, like a garage door opening or something like that. And then I'm hearing this banging noise. I don't know if it's this white van over here or who's making these noises, but I bet they're synced. Da-da! You just open your garage door, it's like, and then they're like, da-da! I see a red car. Is it synced? I see a guy walking in a door right as someone walks out with a red shirt and is dumping something in a dumpster. They're gonna open the dumpster synced. She opened the dumpster right as a black and silver car met each other at the intersection, and then she closed it right as a white truck drove out with her red shirt. And there's these two silver cars, and they synced up with the whitey and with the AC outside my apartment turning back on. And then he's walking back with the red shirt, and then didn't walk back in synced, I don't think. Maybe he started walking back synced, but didn't go around the corner synced though, so maybe he started walking back synced. But he came out behind the building where the other guy came out of the door. Like he came around the back of the building behind that guy, right as he's walking out the door in front of that guy. They both walk out at the same exact time. And the one guy had a red shirt. And they were synced. And someone told him to put a red shirt on. And then walk out synced with another guy walking out. Synced heartedly as you could possibly be. Here's a cop. What was he doing? I just saw no more cars right after the cop, and I think he was probably the last car in a sync scene, in a sync sequence, in a sequence. Bruh. That's fire. The sequence. And then I saw all these red cars drive out, and they were synced. Yeah, they do all these little sequences where they drive out all at once, and then they drive around the corners all at once, and then there's no cars, and then more cars drive out and do another scene of another retarded, sync-retarded movie. So I think the cop car was the last car in a thing like that, because I saw a bunch of cars before him. But then I just looked up and I saw the cop car, and then I saw no more cars for a second, and then a bunch of cars drove out all at once again. And then there's more cars right now. Da, da. And there's black and silver cars again after the red and the blue cars, and then I see another blue car. They just all drove around the corner synced, and then there's no more cars again. All at once. And then there's two cars synced at the intersection again. Da, da. And there's black and silver cars again, and then this red car is backing up in the parking lot, synced with them. And then the AC turns on outside right as the black and silver car drive around the corners, and the red car starts driving forward at the exact same time as that. Da, da. Stupid. People are just doing stupid shit out here again. Non-stop again. There's black and silver and white cars again, synced up with the AC turning off again. And then there's other black cars again. Synced up with the other cars. Da, da. And then just never know, man. Is there gonna be a siren? What's gonna happen? Is there gonna be nail guns? Da, da. Is there gonna be a guy going da da, synced up with another guy going da da? That'd be crazy. Making these banging noises. It seems synced up with Whitey driving by. It seems synced up with Whitey driving by corners of buildings. Yup. There's black and silver cars again with the Whitey again. It's just, and then the black truck gets to the last corner, and then there's a FedEx at the same time. Ah! And then there's a bunch of black cars driving out all at once, and then there's a Whitey. And then when the last black car gets to the last corner, there's a red car at the exact same time. And then when it gets to the last corner, there's someone walking out in a car, driving out. And they're gonna get in a car in the parking lot, and it's a red car, and I think I just saw it pull up, synced up earlier. Is it synced up again? And there's people walking out of the building now. They're getting in a red car. Right after she just got in her red car, it seems kind of synced up. Are they gonna start driving at the exact same time as each other? What's gonna happen? This red car just turned its lights on right as the other red car went through the intersection, and then the two red cars are taking off at the exact same time as each other. Yup. And then they're syncing with two more cars. They're like black cars, I think. And then they're syncing up with another red car. Oh, all four of those cars at once synced up with this other red car. Da-da! That was dumb. Da-da! Like the one red car turned out of the parking lot, the other red car turned out of the parking lot, and then these other two cars, these black cars, were driving by synced, like driving around corners synced or whatever. All those four cars were syncing up with this one red car driving out at the intersection. Because they're sync-tarded like that. And there's two red cars, and they're meeting each other at the intersection. And they're like, da-da! And there's an engine sound at the same time, I think. And then another red car drives out. Da-da! And then a white truck door closed, synced with it in the parking lot. Da-da! And there's a black car, and he's probably a sync head with the other sync heads. I don't know what sync-tarded thing he did, but he's probably another sync head, and he was like, da-da! I'm sync-tarded! Ha-ha! Da-da! Here's another white SUV, and the white van that's parked next to me is driving off at the exact same time. And then right when he gets to the edge of the parking lot, there's this other car pulling up to the intersection, and it's meeting a whitey, and then he's turning out with the white van, and then it's gonna sync again at the other corner with these other cars going around corners. They were both silver, I think, and then there's other whiteys driving out when he goes around the corner. And then this white truck is taking off out of the parking lot, synced up with whiteys on the street. And then he's syncing up with another whitey when he goes out of the parking lot. Ah! And then he syncs with a red car when he turns out on the street. Like they'll pull up to the edge of the parking lot synced, and then they'll turn synced, and then they'll go around the corner synced. Ah! And there's black cars, he synced. Oh! Da da! Ah! This is so sync-tarded out here, man. Like, I can't even. I gotta walk away from my window, and then when I walk back to my window, there's gonna be another sync-tarded scene opening. It's gonna be a new scene of the movie, and they're gonna do another movie, and then they're gonna do another movie right after that movie. And it's a never-ending movie. Oh! I don't see anything yet. Here comes the truck right now as he syncs with a whitey. Oh! And then another whitey drives out. A lot of times, like right when I walk up to the window, there'll just be something popping off right at that moment. Like it's their car pulling up and parking right at that moment. Da-da! Da-da! The AC outside my apartment just turned off. This is like. Right when I walk up to the window. See all these cars, I think they're all stalkers. The last whitey in the sink, it sinks with the whitey. They were all stalkers. There's a bunch of red and white cars. They look kind of normal for a second, but then the last whitey sinks with a whitey perfectly at the corner, and I'm like, yep. They weren't normal. They were stalkers. They were like, da da! And they need mental help. And they shouldn't be driving a car because they're stalk-tarded. And this whitey just drove out with FedEx, and he's like, da da! And then this white truck just drove in the parking lot at the same time. And then he's driving by me. And the AC outside my apartment is turning on at the same time. And I think he syncs up with the whitey too. With his whitey. And he drove by me and he was like, ha da da! I synced on you, ha da da! Ha ha! Ah! And then I just saw his red car. He looked normal. Thank God. Thank you, God. Well, I see all these black and silver cars right as I'm hearing these noises coming out over here. And it seems very sync-tarded again. My sync-tard senses are tingling. Da-da! My sync-tard sensors are going, da-da! Ah! Ah! Da-da! I just saw more stalkers, I think. Black and white and silver ones. I'm pretty sure there's more people stalking me from the distance. Ah! Oh, someone's shooting a frequency in my ear again. That happened earlier today and it happened yesterday, I think. And it wasn't happening for a while, but then it's happening again now. It's been happening daily again now for a couple days. Ah! Someone's shooting a frequency in my ear and they're like, oh, da, da. There's this white truck in the background and he's driving really slow. And then right when he gets to the corner, a black and the silver car drive out. And then it syncs with another silver car. He's just driving really, really slow. And then right when he gets there, and then there's Whitey's, and then the other Whitey's coming back right as a white car drives out behind me. The other one in the background, he drives back the other way at the exact same time, and then they sync up with more Whitey's, with the Whitey's. Huh. They just always got more Whiteys to sync up with the other Whiteys and more other cars to sync up with the other color cars. They just have a whole town full of Whiteys and black and silver cars and red cars and blue cars with red cars. It's retarded. Da-da! And then like every business in town that has cars use their cars to stock, and then all the cops and all the FedEx and all the UPS and all the mail trucks and all the tail lifts and all the forklifts and all of the 90% of cars that I see, or 99% of the cars that I see are stock tarded. Da-da! My refrigerator is turned on right when I went, da-da! I don't see any cars right now. Where's the stock tard cars? Here goes Van and another car, and they're both black cars. I think they're stock tards, and then there's a silver car with black cars. And then the AC outside my apartment turns off, synced up with the silver car driving by a corner of a building, and then a white car, and then da-da! And then this white truck is driving by me again, the same one from before. He's got a 222 license plate. And he's driving by, synced up with other stock cars, and another white truck is driving by me. Behind him. And then he's syncing up with another whitey getting to the intersection behind him as he parks his truck in the parking lot. And then the other white truck is driving by. And then there's a banging noise right as he drives behind the other white truck. And then he parks synced up with other stalkers driving out. And then they're synced up with other stalkers of same colors. And there's other stalkers with the other stalkers. Oh, the guy in the white truck is taking off again. He's taking off suddenly again. And then the other guy in the other white truck is taking off again. And they're synced up with each other, synced heartedly. Da-da! He's driving by me again right as the other white truck starts to drive. Da-da! And then another white truck drives out on the street. And it's synced up with the other white truck driving out of the parking lot. And then it syncs up with another whitey at the intersection. And then the AC outside my apartment turned off at the same time. Da-da!